A new type of banner might be coming to Honkai Star Rail, and it's something we haven't seen before. According to recent info, there is a chance for a special banner that will feature only characters who have received buffs. This means that both 5-star and 4-star units will be getting improvements, and players will have a dedicated banner to pull for these newly enhanced characters. So let's break down everything we know: how this banner could work, what it means for older characters, and how it could change the way players plan their pulls. Alongside the info about character buffs, it was also revealed that Seele is getting a new skin. Since this information was shared together with the character buff info, it further suggests that Hoyoverse is actively working on making older units relevant again. If you want to save up to 23% on the current banners, visit lootbar.gg. Here, I can buy 3,280 Oneiric Shards for $40, while it costs $50 in-game. I just enter my UID and select a server. Since every top-up goes through the in-game channel, I received double the Oneiric Shards for my first purchase and saved $10. Besides Honkai, you can also top up in Genshin, and Lootbar has around 20,000 5-star reviews for both games. I've also used Lootbar for dozens of welkins and supply passes in my giveaways, so I can personally recommend it. Use my link in the description for an additional 8% discount. If you've been playing Honkai Star Rail for a while, you've probably noticed that some of the game's earliest 5-star characters have been left in the dust. It's not just that newer units have better stats. Many of these older characters have fundamental design issues that make them difficult to use effectively in today's meta. Take Seele, for example. She was once the top single-target DPS, but her resurgence ability only works when she lands a kill, making it useless against bosses. If it instead triggered when dealing 50% of an enemy's HP, she could actually keep up with newer units. Silverwolf was supposed to be the best support for mono-element teams, but her weakness implant is unreliable since players can't control which weakness she applies. Her defense shred also falls behind other debuffers. Then there's Blade, who has great potential but lacks proper support. His self-damage mechanic makes him unique, but no existing characters truly enhance it. It's clear that these characters, and many more, need major adjustments if they're going to compete with the game's newer units. And from what we're seeing, Hoyoverse seems to be taking a structured approach to this, starting with buffing standard banner characters first, then moving on to limited 5-stars. In fact, Hoyoverse themselves confirmed in their recent developers radio that they are actively planning to buff older characters. This isn't just speculation anymore, it's something they've officially acknowledged, which means we can expect real changes soon. Now here's where things get really interesting. Alongside the character buffs, we just got new info from Ubacha suggesting that Honkai Star Rail will introduce a brand new banner system designed specifically for buffed characters. And it won't just be for 5-star units. Buffed 4-star characters will be included as well. If this sounds familiar, that's because it sounds a lot like Genshin Impact's Chronicled Wish system. For those who aren't familiar, the Chronicled Wish banner in Genshin Impact is a special limited-time banner that combines both standard 5-star characters and limited 5-stars who haven't had reruns in a long time. The biggest difference between this and a normal limited banner is the pity system. In a regular banner, losing the 50-50 means getting a standard character instead of the limited one. But in Chronicled Wish, if you lose the 50-50, you have a chance to get a different limited 5-star from the banner pool instead of a standard character. This means there's still a risk of getting a standard 5-star, but the odds of pulling a limited unit are higher than usual, making it a better option for players looking for older limited characters. It also provides a way for neglected units to get some attention, especially if they've received buffs or balance changes. If Honkai Star Rail is implementing a similar system, this could be a massive shift in how banners work. Instead of just rerunning older characters in normal limited banners, buffed characters could be placed in a special banner where their new improvements are highlighted, making them more appealing to pull for. This kind of system has a lot of potential benefits. First, it gives older characters a second chance at relevance, both in gameplay and in banner rotations. Right now, if a unit falls off in the meta, there's almost no reason to pull for them unless you really like their design. But if Hoyoverse is actively buffing these characters and featuring them in a special banner, they could become much more appealing options. It also means better value for players. If this banner works like Genshin's Chronicled Wish, then even if you lose your 50-50, you have a chance to get another valuable 5-star instead of just a random standard unit. This would be a huge improvement over the current system, where standard characters feel like a loss when you're pulling for a limited unit. This is one of the most exciting developments we've seen in Honkai Star Rail so far. Hoyoverse acknowledging that older characters need buffs is already a big deal, but introducing a banner specifically for buffed units could be a game changer for how reruns work in the future. If this system is handled well, it could breathe new life into older units, make pulling for standard characters actually feel worthwhile, and give players better overall value from banners. Of course, we'll have to wait for more details to see exactly how this will be implemented, but the signs are pointing toward a system similar to Genshin's Chronicled Wish, which, if true, could be one of the best banner changes we've seen in the game so far. Oh, by the way, alongside the news about character buffs and the possible new banner system, another interesting leak surfaced from the same source. Seele is getting a new skin. This wasn't shared separately. It was mentioned together with the information about character buffs, making it even more likely that she's one of the first to receive adjustments. While a new skin might seem like just a cosmetic update at first, it actually makes perfect sense if she's about to be buffed. Hoyoverse has a pattern of releasing skins alongside reruns or gameplay updates, and if Honkai Star Rail follows the same approach as Genshin Impact, then Seele's skin could be part of a bigger push to bring her back into relevance. If she does get a buff, she'll likely be featured in the new buffed character banner, making it a perfect opportunity to encourage players to pull for her, especially if her resurgence ability gets fixed. All signs point to Seele's time in the meta not being over just yet. If Hoyoverse plays this right, she could make a strong comeback in high-end content, and her new look would be the perfect way to celebrate it. So, what are your thoughts on this new banner system and the upcoming buffs? Do you think this is the right move for Honkai Star Rail, or is there something else Hoyoverse should focus on? And which characters are you hoping to see buffed first? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Save up to 23% on the current banners at lootbar.gg. All you need is your UID and server. The link is in the description.